All right, before we get into this week's training, I want to let you guys know that there's a huge sale going on throughout the week on dozerweighlifting.com. It's probably the biggest sale I've ever done in my entire life, so take advantage of it. The Elite program is $30 off. The Dog Pack is $5 for your first month. That discount will be applied at checkout automatically. The Demon Back protocol is $10 right now. The squat programs are like half off. Take advantage of it because I'm never doing a sale like this again. But with that being said, let's get into this week. So Monday, starting off with front squats again. We have 4x2 at 170 here. And essentially what these are, the Monday morning front squats, it is just a gut punch to your central nervous system. Like if you're tired and achy and you're not moving very well, doing front squats will get your shit moving right real quick. Mainly because when you're just not very warm, when you feel achy and tight, these are very demanding. The best you'll front squat is when you're moving well. So the first set's gonna feel terrible and they get better as they go, and you can kind of see that happen here. This next set moved really well. Yeah, so you see more speed coming out of the bottom as these sets progress. And 170 is not a heavy weight at all, but you do it on a Monday morning. It's not gonna feel great, but by the end they do feel great. This was the last set, I believe, and you can see the speed and tempo and control just got a lot better. So we're moving on to power snatch plus low hang power snatch. The camera angle here sucks, but that's all right. These are essentially just there to get your positions flowing. I think this is the best power complex if you're gonna do more than one rep, is power plus low hang. I think this is the set where I do something really weird, or the next set. Throughout this week, I'm like feeling like I'm getting in really good shape again. Like the movement's getting easy and I feel very in control of the weight. So I keep trying to do like stupid shit. You'll see that on the third rep here. In my head, I was like, I'm gonna kind of cut the pull and move fast and then just put the bar in the wrong spot. I did that several times this week and I don't know why. I think it's just because I'm getting back in shape, but I need to commit to all of my movements and I need to not do stupid shit like that, because that will come back to bite you. But overall, those were good. Something you'll notice is I'm not gonna repeat sets if I miss on this program. If you do that, you are going to end up in a bad spot. There's so much volume, there's so much frequency, and the intensity is getting up there that if you do more than you're supposed to do, you are going to end up way too fatigued and you're gonna end up not recovering good enough. So I'll just move straight through. Push presses are probably my worst movement. Any pressing is I'm terrible at. You're gonna see that on Wednesday when I have muscle snatches. But we managed to get through these okay. I think this last set was good. One thing I'm noticing watching this back, and I actually kind of like doing these videos because I can watch my whole week back, is my overhead position is not super open. You can see how it just kind of looks a little bit forward overhead, so I need to kind of target that, warm up my thoracic spine really well, and just be responsible when it comes to my overhead position. And we're on to Monday night training. So I get asked about my training schedule and how I fit in 2 days. I don't give myself a huge break in between. Obviously, if you work, then the thing that makes the most sense is one session before, one session after. But if you don't work like a 9 to 5, then I think the best move is to do what I do and knock out your first session. Just wake up, eat breakfast, go to the gym, do your first session. Then after that, you're going to come back, protein shake, chill for 45 minutes, eat one of your meals. Then after that, like 45 minutes after that, you head to the gym. And I've really been in rhythm with that. So the snatches, you can see that we have a lot of volume working up. It's 3 singles at 90, 3 singles at 100, 3 singles at, or what am I talking about? Triple at 90, triple at 100, triple at 110. And I was really happy with all those. They moved super well. The speed was there. Overhead position felt really good. And did I do a triple here? I think I did a double at 120. But the speed and positions are just feeling so good. I'm using my back really, really well. When I get out of shape, normally the one thing I do is I'll do a ton of squats to get back in shape, and that makes my pull very leg dominant. And that's not really what you want when you're trying to improve your technique and efficiency in the Olympic lifts. If you're all legs, then it's not gonna work out well. These are my top sets, 135. First one was pretty good. None of these were perfect. Like the second one was a little behind. It was a good snatch, but just felt kind of empty. And then this one was one of those where I was like, I'm gonna do something cool and move really fast. And then I cut the pull and walked it out. But no misses on those snatches, which is good. And then we move on to clean and jerk, and we have clean and 2 jerks. Clean and 2 jerks is probably my favorite complex, just because lowering the jerk gets you better at the jerk. Like if you're struggling on the jerk, stop doing jerks off the blocks. Just force yourself to re-rack the bar over and over again, because re-racking the bar is essentially a negative with the jerk. Even when you receive it with your legs, it's teaching you how to apply force against weight in the top portion of your squat, which is extremely important when you're doing the jerk. So if you're able to just re-rack the jerk really, really well, the chances are you're not gonna be a very bad jerker. And this is our top set here at 170. Pretty solid. I get a lot of questions about my back foot hitting really early. As long as your front foot is off the ground by the time your back foot hits, it's fine. If your front foot is hitting before your back foot, that is bad. You don't want that to happen. But the way I think about it is my back foot hits early and it kind of pushes the hips under the bar. And I think this is what I think of when I'm jerking, is using the back foot to kind of push my front foot out, just having an anchor to drive my front foot away. And that helps me get under the bar, it helps me mentally. You don't have to do that by any means. Just think 50-50, move your feet the same distance, try to hit them both on the ground at the same time. Don't just do stuff because other people do it. If you find stuff works for you, then you can do it. Snatch balances felt a lot better this week. You'll see on these lighter reps how I don't really rest that long with the bar on my back. I just kind of flow through and try to bring some athleticism into my lifting. I think one of the big issues that can occur as a weightlifter is you think too much about what you're doing and over prepare for every single rep you do. Like you run through this checklist every single time you do a rep, and that's not what you want to do. I mean, sometimes you do, especially if you're newer, but once you're experienced, you've done a lot of lifts, you want to bring some athleticism into your weightlifting. And if you're just overthinking everything you're doing, that's going to be very hard to do. So I like to just kind of flow through some reps at the lighter weights and just try to stay loose, stay athletic. They felt a lot better here. And you can kind of see that I'm doing that too on these 120s, as I'm just getting through them fast. I hate that I do that to where I kind of like power jerk and catch it and then I ride it down. I wish I could catch it lower, but it is what it is. I do it really bad on the first rep, like right here. And then it gets better as the reps progress. But these felt much better than last week. I remember 110 felt way worse than these 120s. So that tells me that this is something I definitely need to be doing. Then we have our low hang cleans. And I've been loving these. Just put some straps on, really try to flow through your pull. And they've been feeling great. I'm really happy I threw these in this program. Felt kind of weird putting a clean exercise on the Tuesday, like a pure clean exercise, not powers or anything like that, but I'm really happy with it. So we took some weird jumps, but now we're at the working weight, 145. My main focus here is just timing and bar path. Like my goal is to keep the chest on top of the bar for as long as I can. Through extension, even in transition, I just want to think of that chest covering the bar the whole time. And while all that's happening, keeping the weight directly in the middle of your foot. Like those two things, if you do those two really well, chances are you're gonna have a good clean. Once either of those things slips, then some inconsistencies come out. But I was pumped with how those felt. And the jerk workout here was pretty tough. It wasn't like impossibly tough, but this is the workout that made me realize my shoulders are pretty tight. So that's 160 there. Everything felt good on the way up, and then we get to the 170s and didn't feel great. You can see how I'm just kind of pressing these out. I don't have that like crisp lockout that I used to have, so I need to get on my shit with mobility. Still kind of soft elbows. That one was better, but still not as good as I'd like to see it. So we're gonna try to iron that out and fix some shit. This is the last YouTube video you guys are gonna see of me lifting in this gym. That jerk was terrible, Jesus Christ. But I spent the early half of today helping Stonehenge move their gym to a new location. And it's much bigger, and it's pretty cool. So I'm very excited for the training that's about to happen. And this is the last set here. The first 2 reps on this set were good. That was a crisp lockout. Still like shifting in the catch. I probably need to warm up with pause and split. If you're ever doing any like shifting in the split position, just put a 2-second pause at the start of your jerk, or in the catch of your jerk. That's gonna bring out what's causing that very, very fast, and you'll be able to get some feedback and fix it pretty quick. All right, this is the muscle snatch workout. This is Wednesday morning, and this shit kicked my ass. And the weight's hilarious. It's at 90 kilos, which is less than 60% of my best snatch. But I'm just I can get it to my forehead, no problem. I can probably get 110 to my forehead. It's just pressing it the rest of the way is so hard. This is 90 kilos, first set. And I am trying to be intentional with not like, I missed there. I am trying to be intentional with not just flipping under super early and pressing the rest of the way. I want to try to keep the elbows up for as long as I can. But these beat the fuck out of me. Missed again. And I'm getting pissed. I'm still pissed. This is the last set. So we made 2. And we made the last one. And it's interesting on that last rep, the main thing I was thinking about was like, keep your arms passive in the pull, more passive. On muscle snatches and power snatches, when you're trying to get the bar high, you're trying to put speed on the bar, naturally you want to pull with those arms, but the best thing you can do is just try to keep them passive. Take the tension from your arms and put it in your back and your lats. And this right here is my favorite exercise ever, behind the neck power jerk. It is a universal exercise. Yes, it's a jerk exercise technically, but the timing of the drive and the catch is universal. When you drive in the extension of a snatch and catch, the timing is the same here, the timing is the same in the clean, and the timing is the same in the jerk. So just doing this is such a good primer to get things firing the way they need to fire. And then 140 snatch pulls. These felt okay. Just felt kind of empty through the middle, but it's week 2 fatigue starting to hit, and I was completely expecting that. Week 2 is rough. Week 3 things start to come around a little bit because the volume drops. At week 3 a good amount. But the week 2 volume is fucked. I mean, they're moving fast. I like my positions on these. The only thing is the extension is just a little bit empty, but happy with that workout. Now shit's gonna start getting interesting. Wednesday block snatch. A lot of reps on the way up, but these were moving so good. It is interesting going into a PM session and snatching after doing snatch pulls in the morning. In the program, the squats are in the morning. That's how it should be for everyone, but because of some hip issues I have, if I squat in the morning or back squat in the morning, I'm pretty much done for the day, and typically the next day too. So I move those to Wednesday at the end of the day, making the last exercise of the day, and that gives me kind of Thursday to recover, and then by Friday I feel fine. But back squats mess me up a lot because I've been doing this for a long time and I got some miles on me. So we're at 130. This is one of those where I tried to just crush it again and make it look really cool, and did that. So we just got up to 135, and this set was phenomenal. Super connected. It felt so light. It felt like 120. So we go to 140. Again, really easy. So those went really well. That was probably one of the highlights of the week, was that 140 block snatch double. So fired up about that. We're moving on to cleans. And my rack position was very tight here. Whenever you see me catch cleans on my fingertips, I hate doing that, but it'll happen sometimes. That means my rack position is very tight. You can even see it there, starting to come out a little bit, like it's rolling onto the fingers. Think I do a better job about it on the second one? Nope, got it on the fingers. So yeah, that's how you know the front rack's not feeling good. 160 double. Pretty good there. And then turn the music up, got a little crazy and just wanted to blast this 170. That first rep was the best clean of the day. Second one was probably better. So you can be feeling shitty all day. If you just turn it on for one set, it can turn what was a bad day to you remembering it as a very good day and you holding on to your momentum. So if you need to just take the aux for 3 minutes and fucking crank some shit up to have a good set, do it. And then here are the back squats. The back squats. Just 180, 3 sets of 5, trying to move these fast. And these did feel very good. Don't love the way my squats look right now, but I'm a tall guy with long femurs. Like, my squats never look good. But the speed staying consistent through all the reps. That's the main thing I want to see. If you're doing squats where by the end of the set, the reps really start slowing down, just know that you are accumulating a lot of fatigue when you're doing that. And if that's happening, it should be on a program that is structured for that to happen. But if you're doing that on a program where you're pushing the snatch and clean and jerk exclusively, then that is typically a recipe for disaster unless you're a freak and can handle that kind of training. But that was Wednesday. Pretty happy with it. And then Thursday sucked. Felt very beat up on Thursday. I think this is where like most of the fatigue from all the training I've done the past few weeks has gotten to me. Like, just movement was terrible. Everything didn't feel good. I had some good sets in here, but it took a while. It took a while for me to be okay with what was going on. So we had 110 high hang snatch triples. Rocky, and then missed that one. And you can tell I'm just flustered. Just not moving very well. But I mean, that's part of hard training. You're gonna have days where you're just not moving well. You gotta suck it up and make some shit happen. So second set, not great, but got it done. And then this, if I remember right, this third set was pretty good. And that rep sucked. That one was really good. And I remember this last rep was good. Yeah, some good speed on that. Then we just move on to the power clean, power jerk. If I remember right, these felt okay. Nothing too crazy about these. 110, and then our working sets were here had 130. Yeah. So they all pretty much look like that. Thursdays are just like, get in there, move around, stimulate your nervous system a little bit, and get out of there. Like I always say Thursdays are not for getting better. Thursdays are for preparing for Friday. Like you just want to keep the engine warm. Whoa, that splashed all over me. And you don't want to build any fatigue. So Friday morning, went with a different angle here, wanted to see what my torso angle was doing, and I was actually really happy with what I saw. So ideally you want your torso angle to stay consistent from floor to when it passes the knee. Once it passes the knee, you can change, but from the floor until you get past the knee, the torso angle needs to stay really consistent. And I was pumped with how good a job I was doing of that, if that sentence even fucking makes sense. Chances are, if you're having issues in your snatch, you can just look at that part, see if your torso angle's shifting a lot, and I can guarantee you that's a big part of it. Then we had power clean, low hang power clean. These are at 130. Pretty good. And these Friday morning sessions, I get them done in like 30, 45 minutes. I just get the shoes, I get in there, warm up, move around for about 10, 15 minutes. Then once the shoes go on, we're moving through. We had 2 front squat doubles up to 180. And Friday morning, I like to do the rebound front squats, no pause at the top, just breath hold the whole time. Because that really wakes the core up. Some pretty good speed on those. So with that, we move to max out Friday. Now this Friday wasn't the greatest, but there were definitely some cool things that happened. So don't click away just yet. So we had a lot of sets working up, and that's pretty normal in this program. Just in the classic lifts, like you're gonna get a lot of volume. Even if there aren't a lot of working sets, there's a lot of volume on the way to those working sets, and it's prescribed. So it's pretty demanding. I was happy with how the snatches were moving. I wish I had a little more pop through the hip. I remember that being like the main thing I was thinking. But all things considered, we were moving good enough to lift something good. So, did we double 120? No. So we have 2 singles at 120, and I believe 2 singles at 130. That one was not very good, and I think the second 130 was really good. Yeah. 35. Decent. This 40 was kind of squirrely, but not too bad. This 45 was cooked. I crushed this thing. This is my favorite snatch of the cycle so far. It's really good commitment on that pull. Then I went 50. I have this issue where if I go to a number that I hit the previous week, if I'm like repeating, there's no adrenaline at all. So I need to just either not take that. So we went to 55 and it was actually close. Just jump forward a little bit. I think it would have been there if I didn't jump forward, but ifs are worthless. Went back down to 52 trying to be smart, missed that. Went back to 55 and missed it. That was just a poorly managed, emotion-driven snatch session, which is not good. You can see me here mopping the platform in between snatch and clean and jerk. That gives you no excuses if you start missing jerks. the classic "my foot slipped" excuse is one of the most used excuses in the world. So if you mop your platform, then you can't really use that excuse. Clean and jerks felt great on the way up. The bar just felt very light. Whenever you see me take the 20, 50, 70 jumps, that's when I know things are starting to move in the right direction. The 70 was really good. Went from 170 up to 182, which is 400 pounds. Kind of got rocked back on that clean. The jerk was really solid. So we went up to 192 for a training cycle PR. This is probably the best clean over 190 I've ever done. And then just threw the back foot way too far back, got forward. And I called it there just because we didn't snatch great. I didn't want to sell out trying to clean and jerk something when it wasn't going to give me a good total. So that's it. That is week 2 on the Elite program. If you guys want to join in and be a part of it, the link is in the description. Also, pick up some supplements. I would not be able to train like this without the supplements I get from Gorilla Mind. Their pre-workout, their protein, which is the best tasting shit in the world. All that makes a huge difference. The HMB, the omega-3s, I recommend. Those are the 4 I recommend the most. Take a look at those. Use discount code DOZER to save some money. Barbell apparel. Everything you saw me wear throughout the whole week is barbell apparel. It's the best training gear in the world. So click that link down there, get you some of that. And the straps I've been using throughout the whole thing and the belt are Onyx. So if you want the best straps and belt in the game, check out onyxstraps.com. Use discount code DOZER to get 10% off. But that is it.